Kia ora and kia orana. My name is Sonny Teio and welcome to Unlimited Living Podcast, which is a waka for all people to achieve infinitely more and to live, love, life. The purpose of this podcast is to provide weekly tips from the lessons I've learned as a high school dropout to where I am today as an IT professional living by the beach in our dream home with my beautiful wife and 3 children. Kia ora, this is Unlimited Living Podcast with Sonny Teio, and welcome to the theme for this week. We're still going through our 12-week challenge of focusing on different words, and last week we kind of talked about COVID-19, what's going on around the world. Even in New Zealand, the numbers have just escalated this week, but the theme for this episode is how to be committed to your goals, even during this lockdown season. How do you be committed to your goals? So I want to tell you a story that in 2005 I started to study for a Bachelor of Information Technology at Otago Polytechnic, Dunedin campus, which was a really interesting decision. It was really hard. I had zero experience with IT. All I knew was, the PlayStation 2 that I had. I thought that PowerPoint was the plug that you had in the wall. Had no knowledge of Microsoft, computers, hardware, programming, nothing. I basically turned up as a child in IT. I just thought, at my age then, I'm 32, 32, yeah. I just thought I needed to go back to school. I dropped out, but I was quite an intelligent boy in my teenage years. School wasn't hard. It was just that I just had hung out with the wrong people, made the wrong choices. So I just wanted to go back and finish what I should have started. It was one of my goals. And so I chose IT. Throughout my 20s I was quite athletic, and I did look at doing sports as a potential career, but I kind of thought we haven't hit that. IT was on the rise. Computers are on the rise. The use of it in our daily lives were on the rise. Like, we never had a computer in our house, a personal computer. We never had one. We didn't have mobile devices back then, but it was on the rise. And so I just kind of thought the best pathway in 10 years' time from 2005 would be computers. Everybody would be using technology. And so I thought there was a better future going down that pathway. At the time I was a teacher aide, which I really enjoyed doing. But I just couldn't see that there was I needed to have some long-term solid future in my life. We just recently married for just 2 years. We didn't have any children, so the opportunity was now to go and educate myself. My wife Nina already had a bachelor in spatial design, interior design, so there was time for me to do something myself. Anyway, got through the first year. That was really tough. The first week actually was really tough. The first day, the first orientation session, I'll never forget walking into that room of nearly 50 students in this one room, and there was only a handful of us that were brown. So that was really a foreign situation coming from Auckland, where you're surrounded with Polynesians, Pacifica, Māori, and other cultures, and then you go down, move to Dunedin, which is the opposite. So that was a huge challenge. There was culture challenges and so on. But I got through the first year. There's so many stories to tell about this. Like, for example, After the first month, my wife was working full time. She was the bread maker, and I was started my studies. After the first month, I was home before she was, and then she said, "I've got some news." And I remember her standing at the door. As I opened the door for her to come in the house, she just said, "I'm pregnant." And I'm like, "What?" And she said she's pregnant with our first child. And I'm like, man, she's the one who's the bread winner. I'm the one who's the student. And it was interesting times. It actually motivated me more to be more committed to my goal, which was to get educated and to start a new career in IT. That was the goal, is to create a better future for the kids that we didn't have yet. But now that kind of the urgency kind of lifted, the bar was raised in the sense of urgency, because we were about to have our first child. It was due at the end of the year. So I pretty much got as much work as I could. Nina held on to a job as long as she could until maternity leave. But I put my head down when it came to study. I'm like, man, I cannot fail this. There's no way I had failure. It wasn't an option. And I was just committed every day, turning up to class and so on. But in my second to last year, a student came and sat next to me, a fellow student. His name's Simon. He sat next to me in the project room because he needed some help with his project, which is nearly finished. But I'm like, you're the one who needs to help me the most, but you're asking me to help you. But I just said, yeah, whatever I can do, I'll help Simon. And so as he's sitting there, he would say, "Oh, Sonny, can you tell me what's over here on the screen, on the left-hand side?" And I would lean over and say, "Yep, this is what's there. Yep, just double-click that." And then he would say, "Oh, what about over here? What's on this side of the screen? On the other side?" And I'll lean over and like, same thing. Yep, just explain what it is. And then the third time he asked me, I'm like, man, hey, you should know this stuff. But yeah, anyway, he asked me again, and in my side of my brain, I'm laughing at myself, thinking, oh, far out. But the thing is, the problem with, not a problem, but the thing with Simon was that he was blind. So he kept asking me questions because he couldn't physically see what was on the screen. But here he was in his last year about to complete a Bachelor of Information Technology, which is all about computers, programming, developing, and so on. And the most important tool that you need for this skill is a monitor, a screen. You need to be able to see the content or data on the screen, but Simon could not see any of that. And he had a special software that helped him, that would speak to him as he moved the cursor around the screen. So that was like unreal, that this guy, a few months later, completed his project and passed, crossed the stage with his walking stick, and it just blew us all away with a Bachelor of IT. Like I said, you need to be looking at a screen, but he did it. And so that inspired me again, was to stay focused, stay committed, finish what I've started, and do it for the kids. It's always been my thing, do it for the kids. So the point of the story is that never let any excuses or lack of ability or lack of sight rob you from achieving your goals. Like Simon, we need to choose to be committed to whatever your goal is. Choose to stay the path. Choose to be focused. And so I just want to give you 3 simple tips how you can stay committed to your goal this year. Okay? So number 1 is that, I've said it before, just recently, you've got to turn up to class. Whatever your goal in life, the first tip is to turn up and be hungry to learn. It may mean having to develop a new skill, to develop new knowledge, maybe you have to do a lot of reading. There's researching online. When I did my bachelor's, we didn't have Google, and the search engines online are not as powerful as what they are today. So I relied heavily on books, printouts, and researching, going into the library, going into a physical library, studying there and learning. Whereas the technology brings the library at home, so we have the tools. First thing, turn up the class. Second tip is to keep turning up the class. Because you turn up once, it doesn't mean that you've succeeded. You've got to keep turning up. Commitment is just repeating that act of that action over and over again. It's like creating habits. So whatever your goals are, it is highly likely that someone has already done it, and if they can do it, so can you. Okay, somebody already achieved that goal, whatever it is. You've just got to figure it out. Just like how Simon crossed the stage blind with his walking stick. If he could do that, I knew that I could do it. And there's some other stories I can share that motivated me, but I won't do that today because I think Simon's story is powerful enough. So you've just got to keep turning up to class, keep coming to class. Throughout my first year, I noticed students stopped coming to class, and then they were missing out on what was taught in class, and then they're trying to catch up. And because they couldn't catch up, they just stopped coming to class altogether. They failed. So that's the second key. You've got to keep turning up. You're not going to get fitter by working out once. All right? You're not going to lose weight by just eating one healthy meal. You've got to keep turning up. Okay, the third tip and final tip for today is, again, you must keep turning up to class until you cross that stage, until you achieve your goal, until you graduate, all right, until you succeed in what you are trying to achieve in life. Never ever quit. Never give up. Simon had every excuse to quit because he couldn't even see the screen. Physically, but mentally, yes. He could see in his mind of what he had to achieve, but he didn't quit. And that is what inspired me to finish what I started. Commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity. So how committed are you to chasing your dreams? Commitment will change your priorities. Commitment will change your daily habits. Commitment will change your lifestyle. Commitment changes your circle of influence. Commitment is a game changer. Commitment requires sacrifice. Commitment requires turning up, even when you just don't feel like being there, but you turn up. So, those are my 3 tips on how you can be committed to your goals. Next week, we're going to focus on the word compete. I want to teach you on how to compete in life. Okay, so thanks for listening. Catch you next week. Please keep safe during this time of lockdown. Keep safe. Stay home. Only leave the house if you need to, or you can walk around the house. Stay connected. Stay in touch. Stay alert. Stay healthy. Eat well, and all those things. So, yes, on behalf of Unlimited Living, God bless you all, and we'll catch up next week. Well, I just want to tell you about an exciting and simple tool that I've developed 10 years ago, which I've been fine-tuning over time to the point that it's so much simpler to understand and then apply in your life today. This tool is called F8 Life Blueprint, and if you want a free copy of my F8 Life Blueprint, then just go to my website www.sonnyteio.com hit the subscribe button, put in your name and email address, and it will take you to our download page of F8 Life Blueprint. Like I said, it is free. There is no attachments. You don't need any credit card for anything. This is a free copy of my F8 Life Blueprint, which identifies 8 areas of life where you can first understand where you are today and then start setting goals for where you want to be in each area. It's kind of like a mind map. I like to be more graphic. You can just write in all the different areas in the blueprint. And we look at the areas of finance, which is obviously money. Do you need a new job, or you want to buy a house, a car, anything like that, start a new business. We look at family. Are you single, you're married, do you have children, and looking at where you're at and what goals do you have. Maybe you want to have another child or something like that, And then we'll look at fitness, how much exercise are you doing. Then you look at how much more do you want to do and what type of exercise, and so on. And then food, what's the fuel that you're putting into your body, because it does have an effect on you, cause and effect. Remember that. Then we look at friends. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Very powerful truth in that statement right there. We look at the area of fun, which I believe is very important, that every week that you take time out to do something that you enjoy, that gives you peace, and it gives you happiness, and it basically keeps you sane in this insane world. And then we look at free. It says it's better to, the Bible says it's better to give than it is to receive. What are you doing as a volunteer in your community, giving freely of your time, even if it's only half an hour, 1 hour a week? What are you doing? And then there's also faith. Faith is for our personal beliefs. What are our values? What is your personal development plan that you have right now? And I've learned that is the most important part of the F8, is the faith side of it. So go to my website, www.sonny.com, hit the subscribe button, get yourself a free copy of F8 Blueprints, and also make sure you watch Mad Monday with Sonny Teio on my YouTube channel, which is kind of like a video version of these podcasts, but it's a lot shorter. Go to YouTube, search for Sonny Teio, and subscribe to my Mad Monday playlist every Monday night, 8 past 8 New Zealand time. It's going to be cool. Please hit that 5-star rating for this podcast, Unlimited Living with Sonny Teio, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn with my tag at Sonny Teio to make sure you don't miss out on my daily motivations. Thank you once again for listening to Unlimited Living with Sonny Teio, which is a waka for all people to achieve infinitely more and to live, love life. Ka kite anō, and God bless you all.